Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Iron Covenant, where you're going to look at some spiritual evidence that was buried secretly and deep by the mainstream church. Tonight we examine the Apocalypse of Peter. In the winter of 1886, a French archaeological team was excavating a massive Christian necropolis in Akhmim, a city in Upper Egypt. They opened the grave of the 8th century monk. This man wasn't buried with gold. He wasn't buried with the standard sanctioned scriptures. Placed in his grave was a small parchment codex containing 3 suppressed texts: a fragment of the Book of Enoch, the Gospel of Peter, and the Apocalypse of Peter. Very strange that we find these things similar to the Nicenes. This monk took this clinical, uncompromising vision of divine justice into the dirt with him. It was literally unearthed from a grave after being hidden from the public for centuries. Why was it hidden? Because for the first 200 years of the early church, the text was read aloud in the gatherings alongside the Gospel of John. But eventually, the ecclesiastical bureaucrats suppressed it. It was too brutal. It demanded too much accountability. When you study operational readiness, you look for overlapping intelligence. When multiple systems report on the same structural reality, you pay attention. Listen to the standard of accountability in the Christian canon from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 36. But I tell you that everyone will have to give account of the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. Now cross-reference that with the Quran. Surah Az-Zalzalah, verses 7 and 8, which lays out the exact mechanism with clinical precision. So whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will also see it. Not a mountain, an atom. Every action has a destination. Every word has a weight. That is the framework of the universe. It is cause and effect. And it is exactly what Peter is about to witness in the Egyptian gravesite manuscript. This text is a situational report on the consequences of human action. Peter's vision starts with the control group. Before he sees the punished, he is shown the operational standard of heaven. Listen to the direct text from the fragment, section 4 of the Akhmim Fragment. And the Lord showed me a very great country outside of this world, exceeding bright with light, and the air then lightened with the rays of the sun, and the earth itself blooming with unfolding flowers. And the dwellers of that place were clad with the raiment of shining angels. He is not describing pretty colors. He is describing perfect order. It is a state of absolute uncorrupted reality. If we want our own communities to be healthy, if we want our streets, our infrastructure, and our leadership here in the basin to function properly, we have to know what perfect order looks like. You cannot identify a structural failure if you do not know what a sound foundation is. Then, the vision shifts. Peter turns and sees a place of sorrow. This is the part they didn't want you to read, because justice here is executed via lex talionis, the law of retaliation. The unpunished fits the crime with mechanical, unyielding accuracy. And listen to the text from section 7 and section 8. And I saw also another place, over against one very squalid, and it was a place of punishment. And those who were punished, and the punishing angels had their garments dark, like the air of the place. And some were there, hanging by their tongues. And those were the blasphemers of the way of the righteous, hanging by their tongues over a lake of fire, because the tongue was the weapon they used to spread the lies and dismantle the truth. They weaponized speech, and so the universe balanced the ledger. It is the atom's weight of evil returning to its source. The text then continues to detail what happens to those who pervert justice and manipulate systems for their own gain. Listen to section 9 of the fragment. And there was another great lake, full of pitch and blood and mire bubbling up. And there stood men and women up to their knees. And these were usurers, and those who take interest, immersed in a pit of mire and filth. They made the world dirty with their corruption. They muddled the waters of justice, so they exist in the filth they created. This is not random torture, it is consequence. When we execute our civic oversight, we demand transparency. When we document municipal negligence, when we strike aluminum, to build safety kits for the vulnerable. We are pushing back against the rot. We are refusing to be complicit. We do not read the Apocalypse of Peter to live in fear. We read it to strip away the illusion that our actions don't matter. We read it to remind ourselves of the atom's weight. Let this text be a shield over your households. Guard your words, guard your actions, and hold the line in your community. The truth does not bend, and the ledger does not lie. The Sentinel is on duty. Keep your eyes open. Truth to power. Amen.